Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Abiding by AFTERBIRTH Plus. Just knocking out the daily meditation, right, Ruka? 35 wins in a row. Excuse me, my son. You can't have your foot on the keyboard. That's you give him an inch, he takes a mile. 477HQMT8. Yo, stats are good. Stats are better. I would like some more HP, though. What is this? Cat, what are you doing? You're sniffing the Nintendo Switch. Didn't you read the stories when it launched? You're not it's not an appetizing smell nor taste. It's like you don't even read Kotaku. He's looking at me. If you could see his eyes right now. You know, what a tale his thoughts would tell. Two of the same room in a row. It's like I'm being mocked. So where are we at? Well, it's still Friday here. I said daily meditation. You might have thought, you know, just a one-off Isaac episode on any given day. Not correct. Fridays, I've come to really enjoy them. You know? It's one of those things, you know, taking a day off on Saturday has actually led to me being no less productive. I'm 0% productive on Saturday from a video and stream context, but I'm like probably like 117% productive on the days that surround it. I hope the math roughly checks out there. Right, Ruka? Oh, he's falling asleep. But moreover, it's kind of like it's made me appreciate the days around it more. Like Friday, I really appreciate having a day to just sit down, record a bunch of YouTube stuff, be by myself. Here's the thing, like, streaming, commentarily, is 10 times easier than making YouTube videos. Because if you ever run into dead air, you just take something from chat and you spitball it. Why don't they just give every Avenger an Iron Man suit? You know, we could talk about that for 3 or 4 hours if we have to. But making the YouTube videos is a little, from a duties standpoint, it's a little easier. You know, it might take you 8 hours to make 8 YouTube videos, but you're over, like, during that 8 hours, you can take half an hour off to go get lunch without compromising things. You can go to the bathroom. You could run an errand in the middle of the day if you had to, and then, you know, make up for it later. It's not like you can't do that stuff on a stream, but it's just different. Like, when you're streaming, you're kind of on, and then you're off. If you take a half-hour break to go eat lunch and you turn your stream off, a lot of people will leave. I mean, I would leave too, to be honest. It's not like I'm saying you shouldn't leave. It's quite the opposite. It's just like, you know, if you tuned into a live broadcast of your favorite television program and it was like Simon Cowell eating a bagel, you would be like, come on, funny man. Get to the scathing criticisms. Destroy some young adult lives. At least describe the taste of the bagel, please. You get the idea. Anyway, this is not a complaint. It's really quite the opposite. So now I've come to appreciate you know, Friday more for a little bit of quiet work, you know, quiet enjoyment. I don't have to deal. I mean, like, the stuff that I say in these videos will be open to public opinion when the videos come out, but they'll be, you know, so far gone from me having said it that the emotional impact of people disagreeing with me is substantially dampened. Then I appreciate Sundays more as well, because it's the first day back at the job. It's like coming back from vacation. You know, I mean, I guess you could phrase that in a negative. It's sort of like coming back from vacation, but it's like coming back from summer vacation. You know, yeah, you're back in school, you're doing work, but, you know, for one, our work is playing video games, and secondarily, you're seeing your friends again as well. So, you know, I've come to appreciate the Friday. No doubt about that. I would appreciate it a little bit more if out of the goodness of your heart, you gave me a great deal with the devil. You know, we'll take whatever it is. Oh, I forgot he went to the middle, so of course he's gonna spin. Like, the run is 8 rate of fire and 5 damage is, like, really good. Lump of coal is the better option. There's no doubt about it. I and actually, now that I think about it, now we do have a red heart. Just having one red heart is like a peace of mind sort of situation. Very happy to see it. It is weird coming off of a run in which we had Dr. Fetus. The run was so easy, and then the Mega Satan fight, we really could not have done much worse, and yet we were still carried to victory by like the luckiest consumable payouts I ever could have asked for. I say we couldn't have done much worse, but I also want to add, I don't know if we could have done much better on the Mega Satan fight. Like, some of the... Basically, we had such large bombs that created bombs that sometimes created bombs after that, dodging was like... functionally felt like it was pretty much impossible. But that might be the defeatist in me talking. You don't remember the defeatist? That's the third Magician movie from 2007. There was the Prestige, the Illusionist, and then the defeatist. Nobody remembers it because instead of starring Christian Bale or Ed Norton, it starred Jim Belushi. It was made by the Hallmark Network. It doesn't exist. You don't have to go looking for it. I made it up. Sorry, Jimbo. You know, do you think that that's the best movie shared evolution? Because, you know, there's also, like, Armageddon Deep Impact. There's all these weird situations where, like, two movies come out within a couple of months of one another, or within a year of one another, and you're like, they have almost the exact same premise. Armageddon Deep Impact. I mean, they're the two biggest movies ever about a meteor hitting Earth, or an asteroid, and they both came out within, like, 6 months of one another. If you're saying, like, oh, well, you know, they're not that similar, it's like the Pyro. It's like the people who say Sekiro isn't a Souls game. It's like, you're right, but, like, you're being a little pedantic about it. It shares more DNA with Souls than, like, any other franchise on the planet, without a doubt. But I gotta say, unlike Armageddon plus Deep Impact, where both of those movies are kinda bad, not to say they're not worth watching, but, and worth watching many times in the case of Armageddon specifically. Unlike that situation, hold on. If we can get blank card, 2 of diamonds, that would be the dream. Just 5 more cents. Unlike that situation, the Prestige and the Illusionist are actually both pretty good. I would say the Prestige is better, which is very much like the mass opinion. I don't think that that's like an opinion that is particularly like, it's not the minority view, let's put it that way. I saw The Illusionist in theaters. I've told a story about this now and then. But I saw it in theaters, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. There's a scene right at the end of the movie where, you know, like movies sometimes, like The Return of the King is the classic example. They, like, bait you, let's just pop it, into thinking that the movie might be over, but then it's not over. That's what happened to me in The Illusionist. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. People are going to be like, why didn't you just go? Well, because I thought the movie was over, and I would just go at that point. And then it ends with this investigator played by Paul Giamatti. Actually, one of my favorite actors. You may remember him from his magnum opus, Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz. He puts all the pieces together of, like, what happened over the course of the... We have no bombs. Over the course of the movie. So he thinks back to all these, like, precious moments. I got an idea. Hold on a second. I want to do it like this. It worked, and I am a genius. This is so pivotal, dude. Because now, there we go. He thinks back to all these moments that happened over the course of the movie, and he realizes, that dastardly son of a gun, he got me, you know? But he literally is like walking to get on a train, and he just spins around, laughing to himself, going like, and then like a clip of Jessica Biel plays, and he goes, magnificent. And I swear to God, the scene goes on for like 3.5 freaking minutes. The whole time, I'm like, I get it, dude, he's a magician. And my bladder's like trying to explode on me. I'm just barely holding it in. Anyway, that movie's still pretty good, though. I can get down with any good movie with Paul Giamatti in it. You ever see Sideways? That's a classic, dude. Anyway. The point of the story is, I think that if you take movies with shared, like, releases, or shared ideas around release, I gotta be honest, I think I'm an Illusionist plus Prestige sort of guy. My 2 cents. I feel like we also go through this with, like, alien invasion movies. It feels like we'll go, like, 5 or 6 years without a marquee alien invasion movie. And then, like, in 1 year, they're like, it's Battle Los Angeles. And then also that other one that was really, really bad. And I know Battle Los Angeles was also pretty bad because I watch every alien invasion movie. But this one was worse, and it came out roughly around the same time. It starred Donald Faison. He plays Turk on Scrubs. I think it might have also had Michael Pena in it. And weirdly enough, it had a sequel that came out. And the sequel, despite the original being really bad, the sequel was like critically respected but never reached any level of popularity. Anyway, the movie was called Skyline. I don't know if there's another situation I could think of. Like, there's definitely movies where the first one is less well reviewed than the second. Normally, you know, there tends to be diminishing returns, no doubt about it. You know, the more you go back to the well, the worse a movie gets. But there are sequels that are better than the original. The most common example that gets brought up is probably Terminator 2. I don't know. Terminator 1 is also really, really good. I think it's slept on because it's a little less special effects driven, action packed. No dude turns into liquid metal, but that movie's still great. I think under-respected. And I probably like some of the Harry Potter movies. Lord of the Rings, your mileage may vary. My favorite is probably still The Fellowship of the Ring, but I haven't seen them since I was like 15, to be honest. But I don't know if there's ever been another situation I could think of where the first movie in a franchise had like 20% or less people liked it, and then the second one was like above 75. That's insane. So we'll go for broke just a little bit here. Might as well buy, you know, pretty much everything. Also, to be fair, we should probably donate. Okay, that's fine. We haven't had to donate to our donation machine in a while, but why not, right? That's not a common situation. Usually things get worse over time. Franchises, I should say, at least. Like, okay, actually, the classic example is probably Empire Strikes Back, now that I think about it. I like The Empire Strikes Back. I like A New Hope. Which one do I like more? I like The Empire Strikes Back more. For sure. I think they do some cool things in that movie that kind of... Were the Empire Strikes Back not as good as it was, Star Wars would probably be not nearly the same franchise. Because to make one cool movie, it's impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's not like 40 years later you're still going to be talking about it. But to make like 2 good movies in a franchise, you're like, all right. I guess Aliens, it depends. Your mileage may vary on that one as well. Isn't there, there's another one that's like Insidious and Insidious 2 or something. It always gets brought up. No, it doesn't? It does, okay? It does. We just run in different circles, okay? I run in the kind of circles with the sorts of people that would be talking about Insidious and Insidious 2 as if they were cultural landmarks, okay? Plus, I love Patrick Wilson. Ever since Fargo Season 2, the man can do no wrong in my eyes. Yes, I've seen the video of him singing Somebody to Love. He's a great singer as well, you know. Frankly, I just agree with Kanye West on this one, and this one alone. No one man should have all that power. Handsome, good actor, great singer. Come on. Save some talent for the rest of us. Here I am. I got 35 wins in a row. I don't know why I felt compelled to do like a Peter Griffin impression. Shut up, Meg. It's not a great, Peter Griffin impression, but I'd say the impression roughly fits the quality of the original character, to be honest. Family Guy is so weird for me. It's like it's a perfect example of changing tastes. But, and also, I guess, maybe how your tastes change from individual within as you get older. Come on. Because, like, when I was a kid, well, let's not say kid. When I was an early teenager, 13, 14, Family Guy was, like, the funniest show on television. So we don't need to key that badly, to be honest. Maybe we already even found the secret room? I don't know. I love our combinations of items here. Like, we're totally set there. Or a combination of cards, I should say. The world. It was the funniest show on television. Then it got canceled. And people were up in arms. At least people my age at the time were up in arms. How could you cancel the funniest show on television? Then it came back, and it's been running for a decade and a half since it came back. And now I hate it, and I think it's... I just don't like Seth MacFarlane, I guess. I hear the Orville's gotten, like, season 2, you know, how fitting. It grew the beard, so to speak. But, I don't know, man. I can't believe Family Guy's still on the air. They're still making new episodes of that? I don't know. Maybe not. It's like, you know, Futurama, which I tried to pronounce 2 different ways at the same time there. Futurama, when it got canceled, people were like, this show rules. Bring it back. And then they brought it back, and it was still pretty good, you know? The movies, they had some pretty good movies going on there. There's that one, they used the Scott Walker song, 30th Century Man. See the dwarves and see the giants. You know that one. Which one will you choose to be? It's a classic. We don't need 2 of diamonds anymore. Let's be realistic. We can roll World Joker. This is a heartfelt moment. And really, you know, I feel it set the stage for these more kind of like pathos-filled adult cartoons, you know? BoJack Horseman and stuff like that. As much as I love The Simpsons, you know, from that era, they were starting to get pretty bad, but, you know, even the episodes that tackled adult issues, we're not really letting them simmer in the same way that some of the shows that came after it did, you know? They were like, it's only watching them as an adult that you realize the melancholy, you know, of Marge at the bowling alley or something like that. As a kid, you're just like, I don't like the French guy. Anyway, Family Guy did not... the years were not kind to Family Guy. I feel like it's a vestige of the early and mid-2000s. Perhaps I'm incorrect. I don't know. People still might like Family Guy. When Ted came out, that's, I think, where I lost... I don't have a lot of goodwill for the genre that is like foul-mouthed puppets. There's you know, Ed the Sock, Triumph, the insult comic dog. It's just like... I'm sticking blank card, obviously. It's just not my scene. You know what I mean, Ruka? I don't find it inherently funny when a puppet swears. Especially when that puppet is played by Seth MacFarlane. I'm being a little mean-spirited about it, I'll admit, but anyway. I'm more down with the, like absurdist sort of cartoons, like the Aqua Teen Hunger Forces and the, you know, what's it, Mr. Smith Goes to the Mayor or whatever the heck the first Tim and Eric show was called that I've now forgotten and look like a poser. Joker. The thing is, so I've seen probably every episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. maybe like 4 times each. They're 9 minutes long or something, maybe 13.5 minutes long each. So it's not really that much of a time investment. And this is like, we're talking about just in the pre-YouTube era. The only thing on YouTube was like, you know, hey, 400,000 views. That was the Charlie bit me. It's an internet sensation. It's got 75 views in an hour. You know, it's a different era. Cat, what's your problem? Why are you looking like... That wasn't the real Charlie, dude. That was me doing an impression. I know you're a big fan. I would say that probably like 80, maybe even slightly higher % of Aqua Teen Hunger Force episodes are absolutely garbage. And I still like the show because at least it tried. You know what I mean? It went for it on occasion. Some of the episodes, like Moon Knight episodes, are pretty good. Fill your eyes with double vision, Fry Man. There's some good stuff there. And, you know, Billy Witch Doctor, sure. Maybe a little bit insensitive. Maybe. But also, pretty funny. Jiggle Billy. Anyway, there were a lot of them that I don't remember that are just pretty much pure garbage, but I'm more down with that style. Here's the Ruka, look at me in the face. You can't stand up. I've been playing the last 5 rooms in my preview window, brother. No, I gotta make boss rush. He hit the space bar on his way out. Oh, he loves the box. Okay. How's this run shaping up? It's A-okay. We really should save our blank card, use it with the Joker, and steal something from Boss Rush, assuming there's something worth taking. Yeah, I mean, Juicy Sack is worth taking. And I think, ooh, we almost took the negative there. Take the Polaroid, head down. We're pretty much set. Like, it's unfathomable that we would lose this run, I think. We haven't really had to work, but that's pretty common. You know, you go through fits and spurts in Isaac. Phases where, like, the runs don't come easy at all, and then phases where the runs get super tough. That's the way it seems to go, at least. I keep hitting shift. The fact that Gungeon and Isaac have such a similar interface, but slightly different controls. I'm just waiting for when I like accidentally try to blank and I end up using my Joker card or something. Speaking of which, definitely want both here. It was well worth it, but sure, why not? I was hoping that one of those would be a dang old guppy item. Life goes on. I don't know, man. It's kind of... It's cool. Don't get me wrong. That cartoons have become like... I mean, I shouldn't call them cartoons. Even that's kind of insulting, right? Like, animation is now like a legitimate, like... It's a thing that adults watch as well. The idea of me at like 10 years old and my parents being like, oh, we gotta turn on TV, a cartoon is on. That's like... It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't exist. My parents, and God love them, right? They watch one style of television program now. Ever since they got access to the 19 different Canadian digital cable services. Crave, HBO Go, Netflix, obviously, Amazon Prime. They scour them. All they watch, though, are incredibly dark Scandinavian crime dramas. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. Excuse me, I've been watching the Ken Burns Civil War documentary. The truest crime of all. Anyway. The fact that now, you know, you could be like 30 and adults are like, dude, you see the new Tuca and Birdie episode or whatever the heck it's called? How cool, I think it's called Tuca and Birdie. But what if it was Tuco and Bernie? Tuco Salamanca from season indeterminate of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and Bernie Sanders. I can't really do a good Tuco Salamanca impression. I can do a good Hector Salamanca impression. It's just ding, you know? Easy enough. I was hoping for some Guppy stuff, but this is also pretty great. But you know, my Bernie impression is... Tuco! Why do you give some people all of the drugs and some people none of the drugs? There must be an equal distribution of Walter White's crystal blue persuasion. That's about it. I mean, I haven't really thought past the pilot episode, but look for Tuco and Bernie. It's coming to FXX this fall, airing after season 300 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't have a joke to follow that up. It's like in a fighting game where you hit somebody with the start of a combo, but then your brain just goes like, I don't know what I'm doing. Happens to me all the time. There's that two very hilarious situations that happen to me all the time in Mortal Kombat Online. One is me and my opponent low blocking at one another for no reason, because low block is like the best defensive maneuver. If you don't have anything else to do, might as well be tossing a low block out there. And then inevitably we both break the low block at exactly the same time, knock each other back, and then stand up. The other one is getting so mind flooded that you're just not really mashing buttons, but your brain is like, I don't know what to do, so you're just like, medium punch. Dude, holy card, honestly, like, most disappointing card in this game. Most overrated. Do you guys have superlatives at your high school? You know, best hair, blah, blah, blah. I didn't win that one, by the way. It was one of those things I thought was, like, part of the high school experience for everybody. And it was part of the high school experience for us. But the only thing I remember, I don't remember who won best anything. I do remember I didn't win best anything, which is, I mean, a dang shame when you consider that I've got to be in the upper 75 percentile of successful people from my graduating class. That's right. Me and 3/4 of the people hanging out together. Building substantial followings on online social media channels. But I do remember that when they handed out the survey for, like, who should be best, yada, 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 they had one that was like, who's the moodiest? And I, like, reluctantly put down a friend of mine that you guys don't know. But I was like, I mean, if you're most moodiest, which she was, you're not gonna be too happy getting publicly voted as most moody. So I remember after I voted, I talked to, you know, my other friends. I was like, who'd you guys put down for moodiest? And they all said exactly the same person. And I was like, yeah. And then when the yearbook came out, the category had been erased from public record. I imagine they probably got like a nearly unanimous series of votes. And we're like, we can't publish this. This is too mean-spirited. And it is, by the way. You shouldn't. It's a, you know, your high school yearbook. You really want to be, you know, you might pull that out in 10 years, show your kids, hey, Mom, why were you voted biggest mean piece of garbage in high school? Well, you know, memories like the colors of the mind. You know, why dampen anybody's special day, you know, and immortalize the fact that, yeah, they may have been a little bit moody, but simultaneously, like, you know, it's high school. I did use the Joker card here, yeah. Best hair, who cares? Best eyes, best smile, best laugh. Honestly, like, could not care less. Who cares? But moodiest is kind of BM. Okay, so let's peep it. I don't even know where our HP is at, but if we die, like, we die, right? Who cares? Our run is pretty good. I think our HP has got to be at least pretty decent. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll die, we have 9 lives, and we'll come back. At least I think we have 9 lives. We did lose... No, we still have the head with us. Okay. I thought we would lose the head maybe when we use sack altar, but... I just walked right into it, dude. I mean, the run is really good. It appears not so good, but it depends what enemy we're... I mean, it appears great, but what I mean is it's even better than it looks. The only thing is some enemies, like... Oh, you son of a gun. Tanky enemies cause me a little bit of trouble. And actually, did we just lose, like, a purity aura? Or is... I have no idea what's giving us a temporary tears up sometimes, and not others. But really, it's like, if we can land holy light shots consistently, no enemy in the game could possibly deign to stand up to us, Arthur or otherwise. That's right. I'm familiar with the lore. Okay. What do we want here? Not to press the spacebar out of habit. That would be a big one. And just keep the shots rolling. Land as many... Oh, dude, we don't have great range here. Land as many holy light shots as possible. Ah! That might be our last hit. So just... I mean, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over, but I don't want to win. Do the rest of the chest floor despite our relatively high luck stat. Ooh, I don't want to win. Easy enough. No, it's not. I mean, come on. We're not doing Delirium. Come on. Look at me. 36 runs in a row. No complaints. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.